This is a view of the Indigenous Learning Circle at Singleton Community Gardens in September 2019. Singleton Shire Land Care Network, Singleton Community Gardens Group, and the Wanneroo Local Elders Group came together to replant some of the native species that we wanted to see in the circle. The species selected have food, medicinal, or other productive uses. We're now going to take a look at these plants and how they've done over the past 8 months.
G'day, I'm Paul from Hunter Regional Land Care Network, and down here at the Singleton Community Gardens today with Stacy, who's hiding behind the camera. We're here in the Learning Circle. Learning Circle is a bush food garden which has been developed in conjunction with local Aboriginal community. In this area, it is the lands of the Wanneroo people. So we're just going to have a look around the place, have a look at some of the plants which are growing and available, and have a bit of a talk about. Right, this little guy here, little sprawling creeper, very common down on the coast. Little plant by the name of pig face. It's called pig face pretty much because when they finally produce fruit, it looks like a little pig's head. We can see the flower there. It's starting to develop fruit at the moment, and when they're ripe, you just pop the fruit off, squeeze the pulp out, and eat it. It's a bit like a salty kiwi fruit. Awesome. Okay, another typical coastal plant is the famous warragals, otherwise known as New Zealand spinach. You'll find it's being served in restaurants and all that kind of stuff all around the world these days. Very easy to grow. Basically, you can pop some seeds in or get a cutting and grow them. Plenty of local nurseries will grow them. Important thing is, when you're going to eat them, just blanch them for a few minutes. They do contain oxalates. So you want to just wash those out. Going right, okay. Got a couple of plants which are growing up here, looking fairly healthy. First one over the side here is native hibiscus, Hibiscus heterophylla, otherwise known as native Rosella. The flowers are edible. The new shoots can be boiled up and eaten, but also a good source of string. If you're really desperate for string out in the bush, you can actually cut off some of the bark and you make a nice long bit of string. Fantastic plant. Oh, and you can also make jam from the flowers. Okay, here we've got a couple of sandpaper figs. Ficus coronata right here, Ficus Fraser right there. They're called sandpaper fig because the leaves are really rough. The coronatas are obviously rougher than the Fraser eyes. They're probably about a 180 grit. There's probably about 360. Both produce fruit. I haven't tried the fruit of these yet, but on the coronatas, they usually fruit around about March. It's a purplish fruit, about a couple of centimetres long, a little bit hairy on the outside, but probably the best tasting of the native figs. Okay, what we have here is what's known in the industry as Illawarra Plum, or plum pine. Goes by the botanical name of Podocarpus elatus. Podocarpus, if you really want to get technical about it, Podocarpus podo means foot, carpus means seed. So when you look at them in fruit, you've got a big swollen pedicel and a little seed on the end. So you've got a seed foot. So a little bit of Latin for you. One of the more prolific native foods tend to produce a really big fruit about that big. Fairly sweet, but it's really gooey. So if you don't really want to make jam out of it because you'll just bring out the whole lot in one scoop onto your crumpets. Lovely one. Grows in rainforest down on the coast. There's some really good ones on the Kooragang Wetland Project site. This spiky little fella is one of the native raspberries. I'm not too sure on the exact species of this one. But within the Hunter region, we do have three native species of raspberry: Rubus parvifolius, Rubus hilli, and Rubus rosifolius. Parvifolius is usually the preferred one. But yeah, native raspberries, again, lovely rainforest plant, and fruits do taste like raspberries. And while we're here, just to wrap up, about 20 odd years ago I started researching bush foods and came up with a list of about 200 odd species for the Hunter region. I reckon that's probably well short of what's actually out there and edible. And certainly, and there's also going to be plenty which haven't been recorded by European settlers, and there's still going to be an awful lot of knowledge out there within the Aboriginal community. So we're hoping to work with the community, so we can share what we know with what they know, and come up with a better understanding of the plants which were used by the Aboriginal people and by white settlers as that time of invasion.
Here we are in the Indigenous Learning Circle at the Singleton Community Gardens, and I'm joined today by Dave and Maria from the Wanneroo tribe. Now we wanted to bring them in to answer a couple of questions. What is the purpose of the Learning Circle in the Indigenous community?
Well, the purpose of it is to teach the kids, and also to get information from, like, the elders can get together and actually talk and see what's right or wrong. And also you can teach the children as well and inform them about different things, what they can and can't do. Teach about plants and just general stuff, really. Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about the different types of circles?
Yeah, you've got the bora ground, which is a circle like this, but be about the same size, probably a little bit bigger. That's where you have you do like initiation as well, celebration of different seasons, and a different celebration also for I can't think of the name of it. When the tribes come together, they'd have a celebration at certain times of year, and that's what they'd use the bora grounds for. When they come to these here, it's like learning for teaching, and because they had everything separate. They had women's business, men's business, and then you had the little one in between, which was the kids and adolescents. Yeah.
And then you had celebrations like a marriage type thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was a big deal back then. Yeah, they were partnered off, and that was it.
Yep.
They weren't allowed to have any others, and if they did, there was big trouble.
Yeah, big time.
And so this one is
And so this one we've got here.
Yep. Well, you can use this one as a teaching, and because it's called a learning one, you can use it for teaching, and the elders can come here, children as well, and they'd be quite welcome to learn from the elders as well, because that's how the information is passed on. But we didn't have pen and paper back in the day, so yeah.
Yeah. So does that involve some dancing,
Yeah.
fire
Yeah.
ceremonies, smoking ceremonies as well?
Fire, smoking, that's another one. That's a different thing again, but you can have the smoking here. Yeah, that's from the elders have to do that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, like a whole community, even the non-Indigenous community, for the same sort of reason. You bring the kids here, so like the non-Indigenous kids, so you can learn some culture as well.
Would it
And
helps
what plants and-
helps for understanding the difference in different cultures, because not every tribe had the same sort of thing,
Oh yeah.
but they
That's
did
right.
in a different way. It was all but when they come together, they integrate themselves and have the ceremonies for the younger boys.
Yeah, they'd have interpreters.
And the younger girls, yes.
Yeah.
And
they all come together and share all of their and learn from each other.
That's right. And then they do their trainings and things like that, where the kids were made like they were off in another place, whilst they were sort of in a place like this doing their bartering and their business, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's welcome to use it, but just got to remember to keep respect about it, and take something away from it. Like learn something.
Yeah.
Which would be really good. Thank you.